Hi everyone, thank you so much for joining us today. Today we're at Connect Bradenton in downtown Bradenton, Florida. My name is Matthew Peters, and what we're going to be talking about today in the training is your online profit funnel. Now, what is your online profit funnel? It is your presence online that is not just a website presence where it's kind of a brochure website, but you have a place online that's set up for conversions. So you're taking your visitors to become prospects and your prospects to become your next clients or customers. So I've got some slides here I want to put together, but really I want to talk about what we're going to cover today. So today we're going to cover about what is your online profit funnel, and then how to determine what is a compelling reason for people to want to give you their name, their email address, their phone number. We can't just ask for it to sign up for a newsletter. That used to work, but it doesn't work anymore. And then upselling and one-time offers. Some people choose to do this, some don't. We're going to start really simple today because I want you to be able to take action on what you learn in this training. And then next steps for your prospects. How do they know what to do next? And finally, software and services you can use. And what we'll do is down below this live stream, we're going to put the links so you can see what softwares and services I recommend when you're doing this. So let me just describe, I wrote this out. I was thinking there's so many different ideas of what a online funnel is, and I really focus on profit because a lot of people say they've collected so many leads. You know, I collect 100 leads a day, 200 leads a day, 1,000 leads a day. That's great, but are they actually ideal clients and customers? Are they going to take the next steps into working with you, or are they just names and fake email addresses? So I have it as an online funnel is a series of steps that visiting prospects move through in their interests as it dictates. So as they are interested, as they see they can trust you, they're going to move through into the next steps into working with you. So you have traffic or people who are coming to your website, your web properties cold. They don't know you from anybody. You just happen to be a search result, or they saw a link on Facebook or YouTube. There was an ad they clicked on, and they come to you. Now what do? How are they going to feel that they can trust you? How do they know that you're a reputable source? So if you're relevant, if you're trustworthy and have an offer that answers their questions, answers their needs that they have in that moment, that is how you're going to be seen as relevant. You have to know that whatever you're offering them right now is going to answer their question that they're feeling right now. Then they'll move forward in that funnel with you. So really there's 6 different things I'm going to talk about today, and the first one is traffic. What is traffic? Traffic are the visitors, the people coming to your website, your web properties. The second thing is a landing page. Now if you're wondering what a landing page is, a lot of times it's your website, your home page. But the thing with having a home page, as most people have it, is there's 150 things they can click on. A landing page is specific to where they just came from. You're ultimately relevant when they land there. So sometimes it's your home page. Sometimes you can change your home page so it's set up for conversion, or you have a .com, let's say like mine is ascend.net/results. All right, so I send people directly to that, and that page right there is specific to where they just came from, that ad or that video that I put out on YouTube. So that it has to be relevant. If there's 2 different messages from where they came to where they land on your home page, it's like, they said I get that free thing, where is that? It's somewhere in here. And they're looking around, clicking on things, they're going to leave. So we have to make sure that our landing page is set up specifically for conversion. The third thing is the lead magnet. Now we think about a lead is an email, an address, a phone number, a name. That is a lead. And the magnet is, how do we get people to want to exchange their information for this thing that I have? All right, so you have to develop a lead magnet. That's your free offer that demonstrates your ability to serve them and meets their needs without them having to pay any money yet. So the exchange of value is their email address for that information. Now, the fourth thing is the opt-in. The opt-in is where they're optioning to get more information from you. That may be one thing, or maybe a series of things. Some people used to have a newsletter, or it could be a video series, and we're going to get into why they would want to opt in. But really, that's their personal information. So that visitor becomes a prospect once they give you information that you can now continue the conversation with, either on a one-to-one basis or an automated fashion. The thank you page is where you're going to deliver that thing you said you were going to give them, that lead magnet. You said that once they enter their name and email address, or their name, email address, and phone number, or what have you, they're going to get this thing from you that's of value to them right now. And that thing that you want to give them has got to have so much value that they are excited to open it, to go through it, and excited to take the next steps with you. And then lastly is your email sequence. Now, this is kind of an optional thing. It's good for you to now at least have that contact information, that lead, and what you do with it is up to you. But if you don't have this system set up in your web presence right now, you're leaving, what a lot of people say is you're leaving a lot of money on the table. People come to your website, there isn't an easy way to contact you, or there's not a compelling reason for them to give you their information. So if you can take a look at this, I don't know if you can show this over here. A lot of people who have enormous businesses, this is what their funnel looks like. It's crazy. It's a spaghetti mess. We're not going to go over that. We're going to keep it very simple. Now, this is one that I use for a lot of my things as a coach, as a mentor, as a trainer. If you're doing a one-on-one client services, if you are an independent representative, this is a good version to have here because it sets up everything where people can come into your funnel and you have a way to automatically get back in touch with them. They can book phone calls with you on your Google Calendar without you having to go back and forth trying to book that appointment. That can be all automated. But today we're going to go more simple. This is as simple of a funnel as you can get. You have your traffic, and then they go to your landing page. And again, that landing page has to be ultimately relevant to where they just came from. If it's that ad, that video, that blog post, as long as there's relevance here, they're going to keep moving through your funnel. If it's two different messages, they're going to wonder where they are. Your lead magnet, your email opt-in, and the thank you page. Now you can see this is really light here because that's another thing you do. This email opt-in is going to fire off an email to them in case when they went to that thank you page, something happened and they didn't get that thing that you said you were going to give them. So now you sent an email to them with that link again. And it's just, you're giving them more of a personal greetings or welcome saying, hey, thank you so much for requesting this information. Love to find out more about what it is specifically that interested you in this thing that you're downloading. And you can just start right there, or you can have a whole series of emails. So if I go back one, you'll notice over here, it looks like there might be a lot going on, but when they gave me their email address, it fired off this first email to say, thank you, here's your thing. And over the next 24, 48, 72 hours and so on, they're getting more information from me automatically. I'm not remembering to send them an email and sending a personal email every time. So automation is great, but I think one of the things that people are doing today is they're over-automating. And you have to make sure you have that personal connection, that personal touch. If you have 10 or fewer people that are signing up for your thing every week, you have the time to contact them. You have the time to get back in touch with them. Send them a personal note. If you're asking for their phone number, sending them a text, calling them up, whatever you feel is appropriate there. But don't try to over-automate everything and then it's a very cold response. I know a thing right now that a lot of people are doing is they're setting up bots for Facebook, and most people don't know how to use it appropriately. It's not tactful. It's not giving people a personal sense of like I'm being helped by an individual. I was just talking with someone today about, I was on a call with someone who I thought was real. And it was a recording, but the artificial intelligence in it understood what I was saying, and I was having this conversation until I said, are you a real person? And then hung up. So what kind of presence are you showing out in the marketplace if you're trying to over-automate everything? If you're just starting out, if you have a business, like I said, you're getting 20 leads or less a week, you can make those as phone calls. You can follow those up personally. So let's just find out, what is it that you do? Can you just tell us what you do?
I have a financial accounting practice.
So you have a financial accounting practice. And a lot of times what we do is, if we have on our website, it says we do financial accounting. And that's great for some people, but what we really want to get to is, what is the result that we're getting with people? And it can come all the way down to peace of mind. They know that a professional's handling this. Or what are some of the intricacies of what you do that the average person doesn't do?
Reviewing financial statements to get a better understanding of how your business is growing.
Okay, so you're actually taking your experience over the years and looking at their business and how it's growing and giving them feedback on it. You're not a bean counter.
Right.
So you're not a bookkeeper.
No.
But if people are looking at it as a bookkeeper, then we need to find out, how are we communicating that they're getting that back from us?
Okay.
So from my point of view, I would say talking more about the results. Why do they come to that website? Especially this time of year, is like last minute stuff, right?
Yes.
So they need to get all their tax stuff done, so they need to make sure their books are in order. They need to make sure that there's no gaps in their books. They need to have the, I don't know if you go into forensic accounting.
Yes.
Okay, forensic accounting, you need to find out where those numbers are. What's the value of that to make sure that's right before it's sent in? So that's a pain point. Now you're looking at, what are the pains if they don't get this right? What's that mean with them in the IRS, getting red flagged, getting audited? You're not selling the service, you're selling the escaping that pain. Yeah, so when we start having that conversation, now people are like, I need that. How much does it cost? You know, they're not thinking like price versus like, I need that. How do I afford you? So when someone comes to your site and you're talking about this thing that you're offering, which is actually the result, not the service, what is a taste of it that you could give to them? So for this lead magnet, we're going to talk about lead magnets. Well, I'll talk about lead magnets in a moment, but I want you to think about, when someone comes to my site, what could I give them that could help them understand the quality of the service that I have, and how I can actually help them with their business, grow their business, protect their business, and also, they don't have to deal with the IRS themselves doing it wrong. So think about that. That's a huge expense to them. I'm going to give you some examples here. This is one of my websites. This one's Authority Marketing Films. You can see this down here is where people could click on that to opt in. Now that's not intuitive. Actually, it's counterintuitive to have that. So I'm really surprised, what happened with this. So they click on that, and it says, learn how to powerfully communicate your highest value to the world and attract the most committed people ready to work with you. And they can just click on this, and they can get the free video series. So they click on it, and then this thing pops up. They enter their name and their email address. They click on access the training now. Just as a side note, I would never say submit, because subconsciously you're submitting to something or someone. So I'd say, what is this thing that I want? I want access. I want it now, right? Access to the full training now. And then this is what they get. They get 6 videos, and they get it like that. And if they got rerouted or they forgot about it or whatever, I also fired off an email automatically with a link to that page. Okay, so that's one. And then this one, so this is published 1/16/18. So unique views 3,652 and conversion 777. I'm not excited about the conversion rate of 21%, but that's cold traffic. I didn't run any ads to it. So if I was running ads to it, I expect that to be 50%, 40%. 50% is good. But this is just cold traffic, people coming to the site and wanting that. And you saw how hidden that was. It's not like this big flashing light either. This is a guy I really respect for his way he uses psychology in his websites. And he actually runs people through the psychology. His name is Ramit Sethi. And a long time ago he came out with his book, I Will Teach You to Be Rich. I think it was 2010. He says, do you know your earning potential? Take my earning potential quiz and get a custom report based on your unique strengths and discover how to start making extra money as little as an hour. So his whole thing is like, make $1,000 more a month. Just make a little bit more a month to help you get by. He's not saying, get rich and famous on the internet. But See how he's making people feel special?
Yeah.
Take my earnings potential quiz and get a customized report based on your unique strengths. So you're gonna take this quiz. It takes about 2-3 minutes. You click on Start the Quiz, and then he starts asking you questions. There's only 7 questions. Are you a spender or saver? And then you can go through and you select the one you want. It's very simple. Once you click on it, it sends you to the next page. And then this is an interesting one here. It says, tell us more about you. It won't be shared. What is the approximate average monthly income? What is he doing right there? So you have the slider. It starts at 1,000, goes to 20,000 something. Well, one thing he's doing is he's segmenting his list. How much do these people make? Oh, you make 10,000 or more, you go on this list over here. You make 1,000 or less, you go on this list over here. I'm going to introduce these products to you. I'm going to just get you into this free newsletter. You make 20,000 or more a month, I'm going to have someone contact you. I'm going to put you through a different process. So that's called segmenting, which is an advanced thing, but I want you to see how people are using this. They're using more psychology in this. Another thing he does with this is he is getting you to face your reality. When people ask you to give you their numbers or to step on the scale, it's collecting data for them, but it's also collecting data for you so you can see, here's what I really want and here's where I'm at. And you can do it in a non-judgmental way like he does, but all this time he's indoctrinating people to his way of thinking. So the way he asks the questions makes you think a certain way. So that's one of the things I really like about what Ramit Sethi does, is because he thinks through every little step of it. And as you're going through this, he's preparing you to buy from him. And at the end, great job. Great job. You finished 7 questions. You finished the quiz. To get your results and a full report on increasing your earnings potential, just let us know where to send it. So he doesn't even ask for your name and email address. He says, we got your information that's customized for you to help you make more money. Where do you want me to send it? You want me to send it to a spam account, or you want me to actually send it to a place where you can use that information? So I can almost guarantee you his numbers are much higher of people who give them real email addresses, because some people give fake email addresses. So yes, send me my quiz results. So it doesn't say submit. Now, if you're on his website for a few seconds, say maybe 20 seconds, you're reading, and you don't click on it, this right here is a pop-up. And what a pop-up here does is just what it sounds like, but this one pops up over the top, but this one actually darkens the screen behind. So you can't miss this. Do you know your actual earning potential? He's just saying it in a different way, but he's giving you the opportunity to click it and start the quiz, or hit the X and say, no, I don't want that. So pop-up is one of the fastest ways to get someone to have an opt-in on your website. You don't have to change your home page or anything. All you're doing is you're setting up a pop-up, and I'll show you at the end how to do that. So let's step through the funnel. The first thing is the landing page. The few actions to take are the best. So one of my clients, I went through their website at the beginning, and they had a school. And as I clicked through it, they had over 150 things that I could click on, because they had drop-downs. And go on the drop-downs, and you go, there's another drop-down, because they had a lot of classes. That is not a lead landing page. That's not a lead page. That was an information page. That's like an encyclopedia. That overwhelms just about anybody. They need to segment people down before they even get to that part. Classic landing page is one action. Do you want to opt in and get this thing or not? So Google's done some things lately saying, hey, you need to have some navigation on here. You need to have a menu. If you don't have that, it seems kind of spammy. So you can have a light colored menu at the top. You can have a menu at the bottom. But the classic landing page is just, do you want this thing or do you want to leave? You know, so it's people, they have to make a decision, yes or no. You can also do a home page with a pop-up. Think about having that pop-up on your page.
Sort of walking around, checking things out. All right. Okay. Well, hey,
And
take it easy. Thank you.
so it should be ultimately relevant to what they just clicked on, as we talked about, and then can be separate from your home page. So like I said before, it could be ascend.net/results. And I just send people and traffic right to that. I create videos, I say, get this free report, get this video series, and I give them that address, which is not my home page. I always want to make sure it's ultimately relevant. Your lead magnet, simple, instant solution. They came looking for a solution to their problem. Their problem is that they have issues completing their tax because they have holes in their books, or they they need a space. They just moved to the area and they don't want to buy a space or rent a space for an office for a year. They just want something simple, so they come to a place like Connect so they can have a customized office the way they need it. Another simple solution is, I don't know how to make a video. Here's 4 videos that will show you how to use your iPhone to create a video. Simple, instant solutions. Now, it's not the entire solution to their problem, but as they're going through these things, they're getting to know you, like you, and trust you, and you're giving them a result in advance. Like what Ramit did, it was diagnostic. Should get them to face their real problem or their real challenge. If they're not willing to face that, they're really just kind of in the information gathering phase. And then delivered in the medium they prefer. Now this is something that I want to go into further. What are some lead magnets that you've seen, you've opted in for, that you actually like?
Maybe on ESPN, there may be some college basketball recruiting that I'd be interested in, and you have to sign in or sign up for something to get that.
Yeah, special access.
Yes.
Okay, so you get a premium level access or something more than the average passerby.
Right.
A lot of people use videos. Let's just go to some videos. So if you were to create a video, there's a lot of different things you could do with it. A single video, a video training series, recorded webinars. So if you had a webinar that you found that when you ran that live and you had 3 people, 5 people, 10 people buy from you off that webinar, something about it worked. Maybe you want to repeat that. Find out what worked about it, maybe edit it down and give that to people as a recording so they can opt in and get a recording of your premier webinar on solving this problem. Video seems to be the easiest for people because they like to digest it while they're watching you demonstrate something, or they can read through as you're talking. Video is one of the most sought after lead magnets. Audio is another one. So people can opt in for a podcast recording, a series of podcasts, a bonus episode. Guided meditations are huge if you're in that space, and an interview, a recorded interview. Any of those things that you feel is going to help that person get a result in advance of paying you. Written. A lot of people are doing chapters of books. I don't see that as being really exciting unless it's a book that's about to come out and you're going to give one of the juiciest chapters that's going to answer their question succinctly. I think a chapter of book is it's a little too much fluff. A white paper, checklist, consumer advocacy piece. Consumer advocacy piece is a good one because you can say something like, when hiring someone to be an accountant, here's the top 10 things to look for or to watch out for. The 10 danger signs or the 10 must-haves in your accountant. 1 through 5, yeah, pretty much every accountant will have that. But 6 through 10, those are the ones that you focus on. That's what makes you different. So when they're going through this list and they're checking with your competitors, they may ask one of those questions. Do you do blah, blah, blah? No, we don't do that. We actually charge. We have to charge for that. Oh, really? Because so-and-so doesn't have to charge for that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So the consumer advocacy thing is to help them understand what the real situation is, what the danger is of them doing it the wrong way, the cost of doing it the wrong way, as well as how you're different and how you are actually have added features from your competitors. And then people love checklists. Like this one with Ramit is kind of a checklist. You're checking off some things, and then he's going to give you a customized result. And he's probably going to tell you which programs work the best for you that he offers. Interactive, live streams. Sign up for the live stream, sign up for the live webinar, the group call, self-guided quiz. And then a lot of times people were using phone for a free one-on-one consultation or discovery call, strategy session, something like that. I see people using that less at the front end of their funnel now and using that more of like a second or third step. so people don't feel like I'm going to call this person, they're going to try to sell me something. It's a little confronting. You don't want to put that right out at the very beginning. Put that in after they've gotten to know you. Give them the opportunity to book a call with you. Number 3 is the email opt-in. Collect the email address and the first name. The reason I collect the first name is because now I know how to address them. I can actually put a first name in brackets on my emails, and it'll say, hey Bob, hey Joe, hey Sam, Sally. It's going to be a little bit more customized to them than just dear subscriber, which is not, that sounds like a robot wrote it. Use a service like MailChimp, Aweber, or Constant Contact. MailChimp, you can start free. It's not even a free trial. It's actually up to, I think, 500 email addresses or something like that. They want you to get used to it. The drawback with MailChimp is when you send those emails out, it just says MailChimp at the bottom of it. But you can pay a nominal fee for any of those services and start out, I think, like $17 a month, which is really cheap for what you're getting. Create a thank you email that's sent immediately. So, like we're talking about the email that they're going to get. So they opt in with their email address. It's important that you deliver something immediately because you're showing the speed of your service. If they have to wait 24 hours, they're going to be like, where's my report? Where's my video series? I thought I was going to get this immediately. If they are not sent to that page immediately, or they get sidetracked, that email is going to say, hey, here it is again. In case you missed it, click on it and go watch it right now or when it's most convenient for you. And then I highly recommend having a follow-through sequence. You sent that one email. Now, what are you going to send them 24 hours from now, 48 hours from now, 72 hours from now? Have like 5 afterwards. But it's most important that you collect the email address and you send them a thank you email. That's the minimum. Just do that at least. But it's easy enough to just write another email. Don't feel like you have to do it all HTML, so it has to be branded and look like your website and you have to hire someone to do it. Just write it in text. Be personal. When you're writing your emails, don't be overly professional. Talk to someone like you're talking to them. You're meeting here at a place like Connect. You're introducing yourself, wanting to know about them. You ask them a question in an email, expecting a response. A lot of people will respond, thinking that it's a simple email from you, especially if it's not an HTML email. It doesn't look like a web page. If it looks like a personal email, hey, I'm just curious, 2-3 days later, hey, I'm just curious, what was it that you found the most interesting or most valuable from that training that you downloaded? Ask them those types of questions. Missed it? Here's that link one more time. And then number 4 is the thank you page or your delivery. So you're going to be creating a second page. So if you think about this, your funnel has 2 pages right now. It has the opt-in page or your landing page where they opt in, and then it has your thank you page where you're going to deliver that thing that you said you were going to deliver. Make it intuitive. Don't get over fancy. Don't try to make it so beautiful that they have to search around and look for that thing that you said you were going to give them. And then add a link to their next steps. Next steps is like, wow, this is a great video. What else do they have? Wow, that was cool. What's next? What's my next step? So in your video, in your download, whatever they get from you, give them the next steps. Book a call with me. Be on my live webinar I do every Thursday at 4:30. Get them to start following you, start reaching out to you. Give them ways to do that. I'm going to talk about an upsell here in a moment. So this is your one-time offer, sometimes called an OTO. Your one-time offer is a page that goes between when they opted in and your thank you page. That's kind of wait, there's more. So they enter their name, email address, or phone number, what have you, and then you give them something of value before they get their delivery. This is where you can make a simple offer, which is an expanded version of that thing they wanted for free. So that could be $1, $7, $17, $27, $47, $97. Wouldn't go any higher than $97 for someone who just met you, but if you have a really good presentation in a sales video, you can ask people for more if they found that they trusted you from the information you gave them so far. The one I do is $10, $9.97. I can show you that one. And this is also referred to as a tripwire. Now, a tripwire is saying this person is not just interested. They didn't just give me their email address. they actually bought something from me. So they go from the prospect to the buyer list. What do I know about this person? They paid me $10. Great. Now I can offer them something else for $10 or more. So this is where it would fit in here. You have your traffic, landing page, lead magnet. They opt in, and before you give them the thank you, you say, but wait, before you do that, before you download it, there's a one-time offer you're not going to see again. So I'm going to go to the web now and see if we can pull this up. So this is mine, if we can get this on the video. So top 5 free client sources, how to get your next premium client today. So when you click here for instant download, you click on here, enter your name and email address to get the guide right now. When you do, it says you did it. Download your top client sources guide at the bottom of this page. Now they scroll down to the bottom of the page and they see this here. Now what this is my upsell. My upsell has a video here. I don't know if it's going to play.
This is Matthew J. Peterson. Thank you so much for requesting the guide. You'll find the link to download the guide at the bottom of this page. What I want you to do is make sure you take 15 to 20 minutes today and go through the guide and determine 1 or 2 things you're going to implement today. That's why you downloaded it in the first place. You know, one of the most difficult things and the most frustrating things for new entrepreneurs and entrepreneurs that have been in business for a long time is always wondering, when's my next customer coming in, or where am I going to get my next customer?
So what am I doing here? I'm telling them that they're in the right place. I'm thanking them for downloading the guide. I'm telling them to get to work. It's like, hey, you downloaded this because you want the result. Take 20 minutes and go through it. Find out something where you can get a result right now. And I also identified with them. I said, I know what it's like to try to look for that next client. This is going to help you. Matter of fact, instead of 5 ways, I'm going to show you 47 ways. And so that's the one-time offer. They scroll down, they see what's in it. Yes, I want the paperback version, and I want the 7 bonuses. The 7 bonuses are 4 videos and some PDFs and such. And then it says down at the bottom, no thank you, Matthew, I just want the 5 top free client sources. They click on it, and they go to the PDF. It opens up instantly. And if you notice here, I have links. So they're getting, this is real content. This is going to show them how they can get their next client within the next 24 hours. And at the bottom of each page, get the new book with 47 free cheap premium client sources and all 7 bonuses. They click on here and they go to Amazon, and then they just send me the Amazon receipt, and that's all there is to that. So that is how a one-time offer can look. Now there's people that go through one-time offer, say yes or no to it, and they add another and another and another. And what that's called is upsell hell. So I don't recommend you do that. People make lots of money from it, but I wouldn't put anybody through that. So help them understand that you have quality results in the thing that you said you were going to give them. That's a sample of how good of the material you are going to give them for free. When you give them something highly valuable for free, they'll think, that was free? Man, I wonder what you get when you pay for her services or pay for her services or for her products. I can't imagine how good that's going to be. So always get in the habit of giving your best stuff for free. Might sound difficult, but you'll always have more, and people will know you, and your name will be synonymous with the quality of the results you got them by giving them great stuff instead of just cheap throwaway stuff. So these are your next steps. Identify your lead magnet. Create your lead magnet. Keep it super simple. Install your pop-up. That is, I want to make sure that you have it installed. So if you have a website that's WordPress, one of the things you can do is get a WordPress plugin, and they even have free ones. You have your pop-up set up with MailChimp, Aweber, Constant Contact. It is a little technical, but you can figure it out in a couple hours. And now you have it set up, you complete it, you have it running on your site. Because it's great in theory to have a big spaghetti mess of a really complex funnel, but if you don't have something simple, like giving somebody something after they opt in and give you their email address and it's high quality, then you're not going anywhere. But this is something you can do after watching a couple YouTube videos, or you can reach out to me and I can help you with it. I don't know if I have any more slides here. And these are really hard to read, and I'll put them down below the video. But any questions?
Where did the psychology come in for the $97 or $9.70? I've heard that before.
Yeah, and so it's the 1995 or the 1999. They found it's the 7 is the lucky number in Western culture. Now, if you to do the same thing in the Asian culture, it's 8. And you get an 8, that's lucky. Yeah, I mean, if you want to go straight $20, you can try it. But a lot of times we don't have the numbers to go through and try it. So I just use 7, 17, 27, 47. Yeah. So I think one of the biggest things to take away from this is if you think, oh, people are going to love a video series. All right, well, how long is it going to take you to do a video series? Why don't you start with your outline of your video series, turn it into a PDF, and make that available. And when you can, make that outline into a video. Don't overcomplicate it. Figure out what's the lowest barrier of entry for you. Is if I go back one, what is the lead magnet that people that you work with would want? So for my parents, a live stream isn't necessarily something that they're going to be interested in. They probably want to read a white paper. They probably want to read a consumer report kind of thing. They're readers. Now, if I'm looking at someone who drives a lot, they may want an audio because it's, hey, I'm commuting. My ideal clients are commuters. This is something they can put on their phone and they can listen to on the car on their way to and from work. But make sure whatever your magnet is going to be something that people want. If people aren't opting in, if you're getting like 10% conversion, 2% conversion, you got to try something different. And you do, like I had, you have to be a little bit flowery with your words, but just make sure you can deliver on anything that you say. Don't make it so spectacular that everything you do after that is a letdown for them. Pop-ups, let's see, pop-ups can be really annoying. You want to make sure that your pop-up is set so they're there after 10 seconds or something, it comes up. And you can also set your pop-up so it's not going to annoy them the next time they show up, but it'll leave a cookie on their computer and it'll say, okay, after 7 days, after 10 days, show it again. Because they've already said, no, I don't want it. You don't need to show it to them every time they come to your site. So those are just settings you can do. And then MailChimp, Aweber, Constant Contact. MailChimp is the most friendly to use. It's the most intuitive, and it's actually fun. They made it fun. And it's free to start with. So you can have a free account until, I think, 500 members, or 500 people on your list. And I would highly recommend when you're doing this, communicate with people. When you're just starting out, when you have 10 people, when you have 20 people that are reaching out to you and getting on your list per week, just send them a personal email, a personal note. I actually used to do something, and this is kind of a hack if you're in the same spot. What I did when I first started out, and it was a video program, I would give people a little video series on how to use their iPhone to shoot the video, how to light it, how to use it with a microphone, and then how to upload it, edit it, and upload it all on your iPhone. And what I did was when people opted in, when no one knew me, I would go onto YouTube, hit the camera in YouTube, and record a little greeting to them and say, hey Jason, thank you so much. It's Matthew. Just before dinner, I saw your email come in. Just want to let you know I'm here for any questions you have. Feel free to email me at, and I gave them the email address, and I said, thanks a lot. I had their email, so then what I did was I sent a link to that video, and I called that video their name. So if you receive a video that is your name as the title, you're going to watch it. And so that got me into start connecting with people where people would go back and forth with me. And if you don't have a big list, it's a great way to start, is to get more personal, because no one else is going to be more personal. Now, I do have a friend. I interviewed him on the podcast. His name's Sean Cano. And he gets, I believe, roughly 30,000 subscribers and opt-ins every month. It's because he has over 500 videos out there, all leading to the same thing. Those 500 videos he's been optimizing over the years. If you look up Sean Cannell, he's incredible. And his whole thing is he focused on the front end of bringing traffic into getting on a list. And so now he has hundreds of thousands of people on his email list. But you have to start somewhere. And I just recommend that you do it. So if there's no more questions, that's all I have for today. Do you have any more questions?
Not right now, thank you.
All right. Thanks so much.